What's up, Michigan fans? Welcome back to the Maize and Bluebeard podcast, your daily podcast for all things Michigan football, Michigan basketball, and all Michigan sports. I'm Chris. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you taking the time to talk a little Michigan Wolverines with me. We got a lot to get to. More news coming out of spring practice. Michigan players took some time to talk to the media and be interviewed, and they said a lot of fantastic things about the culture shift under Coach Kyle Whittingham and his staff. We'll talk about who said things and what they said and break it down for you. We'll also talk about another recruit. Michigan has their second commitment under Kyle Whittingham, and we'll talk about who it is. And finally, of course, we'll talk about some news from the athletic department about men's basketball coach Dusty May that you're going to want to hear. And also, of course, we'll wrap it up with the results to yesterday's question of the day that you all voted on. All that and more on this episode of the Maize and Bluebeard podcast. Let's go Blue. Let's get to it. What's up, Michigan fans? Editing Beard here. As you can already tell, something funky's up with the audio. Sounds like I'm in a fishbowl. Not sure why. My mic was on. As you can hear now, my mic is working fine. I have no idea what happened. Somewhere between the processing, uploading, downloading, all the audio sounds like that. I did everything I could to try to fix it. That's why the video's out a little later today. Finally, I decided to just get it out there so you guys could hear the news and hear the video for the day. With work and stuff, didn't have time to re-record it, so it is what it is today. The audio will be better tomorrow, but just wanted to apologize. Hope you still enjoyed the video. Appreciate you all. Now back to the video. We've been talking a lot about different coaches that have had their time to have press conference and talk about their specific coaching. Either head coach Kyle Whittingham talked about the whole team. We broke down what he said. We broke down what Jason Beck had to say about the offense, what Jake Hill had to say about the defense. But in the last couple of days, a lot of Michigan players have spoken to the media, and they've talked about some really amazing things going on and some great culture shifts that you can pick nuggets from and just get pumped about. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let me fill you in on what's going on there. So now that Kyle Whittingham is coach, his transition, his culture shift is in full swing. Michigan players that stayed for what they were sold when Kyle Whittingham met with them. Discipline, timeliness, culture, accountability, all of these things are a daily part of the team. And maybe some of these players didn't realize it at the time, but all of that was not taking place under Sharon Moore. And a lot of them seem to be seeing the big night and day difference under Kyle Whittingham. So let's talk about some of the things that they said. Rod Moore, our fantastic safety who we're all excited about and hope has one good final run where he plays a full season and it can leave those injuries behind him. He said, something new that we have here now is whenever we start meetings, there's a loud air horn that goes off through the whole building. It means we've started meetings, but usually like the past 2 years, we would start the meeting at 2:30. Now we start at 2:25, but it's really a 2:30 meeting starting 5 minutes early. Everybody, the coaches, are all holding all the players accountable to be early to meetings and to go to class. There's a lot more accountability. The little things that make a team great, not just the big broad things that everyone else sees. That's something big that I've heard a lot of players talk about is accountability. If you are not 5 to 10 minutes early for a meeting, you're late. Where under Sharon Moore, people could just roll in whenever they wanted. Nobody cared, nobody said anything. No accountability. If you went to class, if you don't go to class under Kyle Whittingham, you're not practicing and you're not playing. Doesn't matter how big of a star you are. Accountability. Under Sharon Moore, if you miss class, we'll still make sure that you practice and play because we've got to win. We want to be ready to play. That's why we had so much off the field junk, so much on the field shenanigans and penalties and undisciplined play. It's amazing what Sharon Moore was doing when he had such a great opportunity. But we've talked that to death. We're not going to talk about that. Let's keep talking about bright and happy things here. Senior defensive tackle Trey Pierce had this to say. I think it's just different. I think it manifests on the field. I would say a lot more discipline. I was a sophomore and junior under the last staff. So just that experience and seeing like what works, what doesn't work, and seeing it here that's pretty much why I say it. So he can just tell the difference. He was trying to be a little more tactful and not super direct, but You can tell that he's saying, like, I came up with the old staff, and I can see a huge difference now. Something else that I'll talk about in future video more with the players talking about the team and other players too. This I'm just going to focus mostly on culture, but Trey Pierce did say that, hey, I see everybody talking about how the interior defensive line, the defensive tackles, the defensive line needs help, and I'm taking that as a I'm taking that to heart. I'm taking that personal, and it's like, good, young man, get that fire. Prove everybody wrong. Show them that we don't have to worry about the defensive tackle spot or the defensive line because you're going to anchor it and lock it down. So I love that fire. All right, junior running back Jordan Marshall. He had some really cool things to say. Let's see here. He said, you need to be 10 minutes early for everything. Guys used to roll in whenever they really wanted. The new philosophy is something that I really like. Something else is classes. Make sure you're in class, because if you're not in class, you're not practicing. We say student athlete for a reason. And if you go to the University of Michigan, you need to be both. I love hearing that. He said it's not only amazing football culture, but it's an amazing school as well. And having both of those be accountable through everybody and in the alignment of everybody being on the same page, that if you're not going to do this or that right, then you're not going to practice. That's something that needs to be done so that we're all on the same page and everyone trusts each other. If I can trust you to go to class, I can trust you to do things maybe you don't want to do. Then I can trust you on the field when it's the fourth quarter and we have 1 minute left in the game. I love how he says that. And he's probably speaking of experience. Michigan was not a clutch team under Sharon Moore. They had that first year, they had some big wins, obviously, but their record wasn't great. And really, when they played big teams or they were in tough moments, they crumbled. And this is where it starts. This is why so many people keep saying, well, I got to wait to see it on the field. And I get it, because what you've seen the last 2 years, but this is different. They are building men. They're building better people, but they're also building more disciplined football players who are going to be able to handle the bright lights, handle the adversity that comes on the field, because they're instilling this right now, like discipline, make the right choices, do the hard thing. That's the right thing. It's so awesome. Such a breath of fresh air to hear everything they're saying. Then Ron Moore also had this to say. He said, I have to acclimate to a new environment and new roster because it's not the same as what I've had. And think about him. He was with Harbaugh, and then he was through the Sharon Moore, so he's been roller coaster all over the place, this poor young man. I'm in the same realm as everybody else, but as long as I'm holding everybody accountable, as a leader does, it's the same thing that you do in any other program. I love that he's talking about being a leader and holding people accountable. That's what Michigan needs. That's what they needed under Sharon Moore. And, I'm sure there were guys that tried, but when from the top down with a lot of the staff that are gone now are not holding people accountable and don't care, your voice as a player can get lost real easy in the weeds. And then more things that players talked about. Some players, like Rod Moore, said it's a little more like under Harbaugh when it comes to discipline and accountability. He said, I would say it's kind of similar to Coach Harbaugh's regimen. It's a lot more strict than the past 2 years, and their weight room has kind of been a night and day difference the past 2 years. We feel a lot stronger and a lot more progress. I love hearing that. Defensively, I would say it's similar to that defense that we ran. He had his own little tweaks and differences, and the offense seems more explosive now than we've seen and had in the past. So those are exciting things to hear as well, that the defense, the approach and stuff seems more like under Harbaugh, which we love to hear, because especially with Mike McDonald and Zach Minter there, which Jay Hill's compared his defense to, and other people, we really want that defense back. But hearing him say the offense looks and seems more explosive than it has been since he's been there, that's exciting to hear. And then Trey Pierce had said it's little things that are different. Under Sharon Moore, you had guys being late for lifts, guys not being where they're supposed to be, whether it's missing class or whatever. Enforcing that heavier, that type of thing is happening now, and I love hearing that. And he also talked about similarities too with Harbaugh there. He said it's similar in attention to detail for sure. That's a big thing. And they're talking about the weight room, of course, with Doug Elacia coming in. I think the strength and conditioning is going to be so much better. And they talked about that too. Pierce said the schedule now is way different. We have more days off, but we also have more lifts, a lot more morning workups. We have to wake up earlier. It introduces a factor of toughness. Like we've been through this at 6 a.m., 6:15, all these days we're grinding together. It improves team bonding and puts you in the headspace of we've done harder stuff than this and nothing can break us. That's pretty awesome. And then he said, this is what I love most about this. Was probably my favorite thing I picked up from all these interviews. So Pierce continued talking about the difference between Harbaugh and Whittingham, and he got a smile on his face, and he said, talking about Whittingham, that he does some stuff I don't think I can do because he said, I've seen him in the weight room. He's a beast in there. Whittingham is working out with the players. I mean, building that bond and camaraderie and showing them, hey, man, I am leading you. I'm the coach, but I'm not too afraid to get down here, get down and dirty and work out with you and be here at 6 a.m. and lift weights and grind with you. I mean, that kind of thing can make a team not only get close together, but to their coaches and their coaching staff. I mean, if you've got players that want to play for each other and they want to play for their coaches, holy Toledo, and they're completely bought in, man, he's just doing things right. And I love that. I love the thought of him just getting in there and just beasting out in the weight room. It's amazing. So it's just been great to hear these players just talk about the changes. And this is what we wanted. You know, we just all knew that things were off under Sherrone Moore. And now you hear, I mean, when you have young men, teenagers, early 20s, trying to grow and become better people, you cannot just let them run the show like that. You go back to what Kyle Whittingham said when his first press conference. He said, you will become us, we will not become you. And that's exactly what he's proving right now. The players that weren't ready for all this discipline and someone to really be in charge like this, they got the heck out of there. And now we have guys who are bought in, who want to get better, and they're going to grow not just as better players, but as better people. And they're going to keep bringing in players who want to be better people. And that's going to cut down on so much of the junk that we've had to deal with the last couple of years. And I cannot be happier. I love everything I've heard. I'm pumped. I'll continue as spring practice goes on to bring you more and more info about what players say as they continue to talk and chat with media. But it's exciting stuff, and I'm pumped. Let me know how you feel in the comments down below. Michigan got another recruit, baby. Michigan got their second commitment under Kyle Whittingham. Of course, they had some that were already committed before they got there, and they kept them. But these are the first two to commit while Kyle Whittingham's been in charge. And it's another safety, this time 3-star safety out of Texas, Maxwell Miles, a quick riser that people are really high on. He is, of course, from Texas, like I said, 6'2", 195 pounds. And there was an interesting article on the Wolverine. Wolverine's usually always linked down below. Love their stuff. But they talked with Junior Asundi, who was a former Texas Tech defensive back, and he works a lot with recruits down in Texas. And he was just singing Maxwell Miles' praises and talking about how great he's going to do in college and how he thinks Michigan's going to love him. Here's some of the things that he said. He's a hardworking kid. I'm proud for him and his family. They're great people. He comes from a great household. Loves the game of football. He's just a great all-around kid, a great character kid. So great person. That's awesome to hear. And now he kind of talks about some more things. He says he was kind of built for this. It makes sense. He's trusting the process, letting everything come together. It's been a great journey. He's been patient. He's persevered. He's a very mature kid. I love hearing that. And he just has a calm spirit. Now let's talk about on the field what Asundi had to say about him. He said he can come downhill and hit your biggest running back. He can literally do it all. A versatile kid. We love versatility. He can come up and press and play a receiver in man. Best receiver in man coverage. He's just an all-around freak at free safety. He's 6'3" and long. He can track the ball and he can go play it. He also talked about Maxwell Miles when he signed with Michigan. He said he was excited. He loves Michigan. It felt like home for him, and it felt like home for his family as soon as he got there. Let me tell you about his stats from last year. I'm really excited about this kid. Him and Darryl Madison, two great safeties already, and hopefully Michigan continues to add more, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But let's see here. Last year, he had 6 interceptions, blocked a kick, defended 10 passes, and had 77 tackles. great stats, but not just that. He's a multi-sport star. He also starred for the basketball team, and he was really good in track as a long jumper. So super athletic kid. Really excited that Michigan has him. I think that he's going to be great. I think we're going to love him. So get excited for Maxwell Miles. Now, who are some other players that could come next? There's a few that are building some steam. Of course, there's one that we all hope comes real quick, and that is another safety, and that is Charles Woodson Jr., a 3-star, the son of the Michigan legend. His family obviously loves Michigan. It just is too good to not happen. So hopefully keep an eye out for him. Hopefully he'll be coming. Quarterback Darius Johnson is gaining momentum with Michigan. He has a great relationship with Gennaro Guilford. He's been building a great relationship with him. He's the number 19 cornerback. He's the number 19 cornerback in the Rivals 300 rankings. So he would be a great get for Michigan out of California. Let's see. 3-star running back TJ Lewis, who I love, who just went off in high school. He is really coming along nicely where it seems like he could come to Michigan. He visited last week and had a great visit. Quarterback Dane Weber. I know we all love the potty, but I really like Dane Weber too. He's really loved his visit to Michigan. He's really trending nicely, so he could be somebody coming in. And then offensive lineman Sidney Rouleau is gaining some momentum as well. He's coming later this week for a visit. Actually, today I think his visit is. But he's been picking up steam as well. So these are some players that could be, but there's so many that Michigan are talking to. They really are leaving no stone unturned, and I think that it's just going to keep picking up steam, and we're going to see more commitments come in. I've got my favorites, of course. Charles Woodson is one of them, and I'll keep an eye on my favorites. I don't want to jinx anything because I really want a lot of them to make it on there, but we'll see. But I'm getting pumped about recruiting. I haven't talked about recruiting in the last few videos, so look forward to in the coming days. I'll kind of dive back in and update you on how some of the recruits, including my favorites, are doing. But let me know down in the comments what you think of Maxwell Miles and maybe some recruits that you're excited about as well. Michigan Athletic Director Manuel Warde had some great things to say about Dusty May. Now, side note, I know we're not all big fans of Manuel Warde, but there is one thing that he got right. Well, technically two. I feel like the Kyle Whittingham move was a no-brainer, as was the Dusty May. But bringing in Dusty May was a great move by Manuel Warde. And he said that recently he said, I want Dusty May to be the coach at Michigan for a long time and continue to achieve this great success. I will actively work with him towards making all that happen. So, I mean, we're just getting started with Dusty May. We do not want him to go anywhere. There's always going to be openings that come up. Michigan is a big school. I don't see him leaving for another college team. Sometimes you worry with his roots and stuff if he would want to go somewhere like Indiana if that opened. But I just don't see him leaving Michigan for another college team. But you never know. The NBA could come calling. But he's such a good, builder of relationships and helping college athletes become better people and grow into good men. I just don't see him wanting to leave the college game. So hopefully we are good, and hopefully Manuel Warde does what he has to do. It's always good to hear that the athletic department wants to keep him here as long as possible, and hopefully he's here for our lifetime and we don't ever have to deal with another basketball coach, because I love Dusty May. So that was great news to hear. Of course, Michigan continues their tournament run this Friday night against Alabama, and you saw Alabama go crazy when they beat Texas Tech and hit like a bajillion threes. So Michigan's going to need to play tight perimeter defense. We'll break down and preview the game in tomorrow's video, but enjoy some college basketball today, and we'll see how all the games go today. But Michigan tomorrow night against Alabama. I'll do a live post-game show, of course, and we'll preview the game in tomorrow's video. Now it's time for the results to yesterday's question of the day. Remember, I ask you a question of the day every day. So if you haven't voted today, head on over to the community tab after this video and vote. Yesterday's video, I focused on Jason Beck's press conference and what he said about the offense, broke it all down. So the question of the day asked, which of the things that Jason Beck talked about had you most excited? You could choose from Bryce Underwood running, basically not shying away from letting him run and use his skill set. Obviously, we're all excited to see him pass. That's the most important thing. involving those receivers and improving as a passer, but the where he can just be himself and run and not feel constrained and in a box. They're going to let him just do his thing. I love hearing that. You could say J.J. Buchanan and his versatility, hearing all about him. Savion Hyder, hearing about his effort and his potential, or something else to let us know in the comments. Results are in, and here they are. As you can see here, the winner, it was close, but the winner was Bryce Underwood running. In second place was Savion Hyder and his potential, and right behind there was J.J. Buchanan. So I think we're all excited for all of it, and I agree. I would say Bryce Underwood. I mean, that's the linchpin to the season. I think Michigan, even if Bryce Underwood were to have I just don't see him having a similar season because their passing game, the coaching staff, everything's going to be better. But even if he doesn't have a crazy Heisman season, Michigan's defense will be better, their running game, their offensive line, everything, their coaching, their discipline, everything is going to be better. So they're going to have a great season no matter what. But to go to to win a national championship, we really need Bryce Underwood to take that step and continue to progress and really run this offense. Because if he is able to pass the ball, progress through his reads, stay in the pocket, run when he should, run the RPO, if the passing game is elite, man, that running game is going to be so hard to stop if you can't stack the box against them. And then if he spreads them out, he can run. I mean, just there's so much potential in this offense and these players, and I can't wait to see how it all pans out. So I would agree, Bryce Underwood being able to be himself, run, have fun, and relax, and not have this box around him where, okay, we're going to run 20,000 times into a stacked box. Don't do anything else. Don't make any mistakes. I love the way that they're going to play with Bryce Underwood now. Can't wait. To do it for today's episode of the Maize and Bluebeard podcast. Thanks for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. Again, if this is your first time here and you had a good time, consider subscribing. Hit that subscribe button. Only takes a second, and it's for free. And you'll be notified anytime I have content or a video come out or a live stream. I do a lot of those after games. Also, we're working towards 1,000 subs, and when we get there, I'm going to dye my beard maize and blue and do a live stream celebration, so help us continue to move towards that. And if you are already subscribed, I appreciate you. You have no idea. It means the world to me. I love this community, and I cannot wait to continue to bring more people into it. And we can do that by hitting the like button. It lets YouTube know that you're enjoying the content, and they'll send it out to more people. Also, if you could, please leave a comment. I'd love to talk to you guys in the comments down below. I respond to every single comment. So please leave one down below, and I will talk to you there. And I'll see you in the next video. And until I do, as always, Michigan fans, have a fantastic Thursday, and go blue.